Good evening, everyone. I am Sound Guy Sam, and I thought I'd show you some sounds of the inventory. Connect the controllers, pop into a room. I got my own dungeon. You hear the music fade out eventually once this loads. So, bringing out the inventory. We have a little selection here of things. And I want to show you some of the sounds we did for each of these items. And also, I guess you can just enjoy the bubbly inventory open sound for a moment if you want to. I think that's pretty cute. So let's start with the sticky note, actually, because that one is quite instructive, I suppose. Go out of here, and we move it to there. We have on telekinesis. Let me turn up the headset so I can hear it myself as well. A very subtle sound. When you move it. This little whoosh. When you let it go and it sits back down, there's a tiny little poof that I recorded off a pillow. And these tiny sounds, they're meant to enhance the sensation of doing things, but they should never ever get in the way of the conversation or the flow. So they should never be all that attention grabbing or super interesting. They should be just subtle and satisfying, you know? Like that. I forgot. Yes, when you throw stuff away and you delete it, it goes poof. Tiny, tiny things like this. So going over to the spray can, this used to be, as the placeholder sound, used to be a realistic, super intense spray can sound, which I have now replaced with this, which you will notice fades out to go pretty low in volume for a spray can. And that's so that it doesn't get in the way of your speech when you're talking with coworkers. Like, it starts being clear that, okay, I'm spraying right now, but then it calms down because you don't need it to be loud. Especially if you're drawing a lot, that's going to get really annoying. Adorable. Poof it away. Lovely. There's also a laser pointer, which has just, I haven't shown this sound to the rest of the team yet. I've just put it on my branch, and they're gonna hear it tomorrow. But it's just a tiny little button sound that's so nice. I love this. It's so satisfying to have just a tiny little. And we consider doing like an actual or like a. Yeah, but it's just a little attention grabbing, a little bit like it'll surprise you. Like, whoa, lasers don't actually make that sound, you know, and it'll be constant. But this is kind of just. Yeah, I can tell you, this guy right here, we're gonna get rid of him right now. Watch this poof. We're gonna grab the sponge. And the sponge used to be wet. The placeholder sound was wet. Wet sponge, which is of course more effective on a whiteboard. But it sounded gross. Not gonna lie. So it is now dry instead, and there's a bunch of small variations of the sound so that when you erase things like this where there's a lot of lines that were drawn separately, you don't get the sensation that it's the exact same sound. It's also randomized in pitch and volume and stuff like that, but you'll hear it. Tiny, very subtle, but it gives you feedback that you've done something. You can also, if you don't want to poof it away manually, you can just let it poof away by itself. There. Subtlety is the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Let me actually do this, because I kind of forget that I'm not recording in the headset. I'm recording on the desktop, so I can just do that. Oh, which also means I can do this. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a blessed night. And, yeah. Keep it tuned to the NAR Discord. Anyway, see you around.